Hello everyone, welcome back to Wine by the Bay TV. I'm your host George Bashara. I'm here with Alex. He has come back. Despite popular opinion that he should stay far, far away from me, he actually ventured back here. We're going to do another little tasting together. Alex, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Awesome. We're not going to do Italian this time. We're going to do things a little bit different. Since Alex is from Atascadero, I was thinking we'd do some Paso wines and kind of go to your hometown a little bit and give it a shot. See what we got. In fact, we went to K&L. Actually, Alex did. And do you have prices, by the way?
Yes,
you do.
Yep,
okay, great.
Prices, yeah.
Alex went to K&L winery wine shop in San Francisco. One of my favorites for a very long time. I feel like that's true of you as well.
It's been too long since I went over there. I had a really good time over there.
Yeah, so we will definitely put a little link in the description box. So if you want to visit K&L, they have an excellent online program as well as picking up wine at one of their three shops. Three shops. Yeah, three shops.
I think it's Hollywood, Redwood City, and then San
Francisco. And San Francisco, exactly. So we're going to get into this right away. If you haven't noticed, I mentioned this last time, we have new T-shirts. Well, I do. Goosehead hat and Wine by the Bay TV T-shirt. Okay. At some point, we're going to give one of these away. We'll do a contest or something. I don't know what. Maybe whoever sells the most Petit fillets.
Wow.
Gets a T-shirt.
Just take it straight back. Huh?
Yeah, take it straight back. Exactly. So just to remind the folks, you're working at Fiorella's in Sunset, right?
Yep, Fiorella in the Sunset.
Okay,
yeah.
How's that doing? Anything new going on over there? I know you just finished Restaurant Week.
Yeah, we finished Restaurant Week, so yeah, it was busy. I mean, we're busy anyway, but we were a little busier, and yeah, it's been rock and roll over there since January. We've just been getting busier and busier and busier, and the weather's been getting, for the most part, nicer and nicer. So I'm sure we're going to be going into another busy summer too.
Great,
so,
awesome.
Yep.
I feel like you're in the right spot, even if the downtown isn't quite back yet.
Yeah,
you guys are a neighborhood place, and you got a lot of locals, so that's good. Have you been doing anything specific to work or wine world or anything like that we should know about before we get started?
I'm taking a California wine appellation specialist class right now through San Francisco Wine School.
Okay.
We just finished up Napa. Paso Robles class isn't for a few sessions, but I skipped ahead into the material and kind of looked over a few things.
Oh, good.
Kind of,
so you cheated.
Yeah, cheated, exactly.
Okay, fair
yeah.
enough. All right, that's good.
So nothing crazy,
Yeah.
But so that's kind of been my newest delve, and I'm taking a Napa Valley wine expert class with Napa Valley Wine Academy. So
Chris Rise is working for
Alpha Omega.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So we need to organize a little trip there.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And grab Chris Rise, maybe put him on camera too. Chris Rise is a ham. He will come on, and he will be pretty funny, I think. Anyway,
I think you're right.
So why don't we get into the wines?
Perfect.
So we got two reds and a white. Alex is going to go into the white first because we're doing kind of an a less familiar grape to a lot of people, but it's a really good grape. I've had Vermentino before. Really, really good. Tell them a little bit about the grape and kind of what's going on in California. Just a quick minute.
Yeah, so the name of the varietal is Vermentino. It's indigenous to Sardinia, which is the second largest island of Italy.
And Sicily, right. And technically in Sicily. Wait, no.
Sardinia separate regions, but they're both islands, yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of basically like directly west of Toscana.
Okay.
This is like arguably the most distinct grape from that region. The really good stuff comes from a place called Gallura. So if you see Vermentino de Gallura, that's a DOCG, which is like the highest classification. It likes granitic soils, aka granite. For some reason, it thrives on that. Probably has to do with the heat reflection. I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing it's a little bit thicker skin, so it likes the sun, it likes the heat. So how that translates to California is that we're starting to see a lot more Vermentino, or I'm starting to see it. You were saying earlier that you're starting to see it in California. It's starting to become a little more popular of a varietal, and we have that Mediterranean climate out here in a lot of winemaking AVAs. So I think it's starting kind of one of those up and comers that I think you can get good quality to price ratio on, and it's. My experience with it is usually it's delicious. I'm a big fan when it's done right. So we're gonna taste this one. This is from a producer named
read it.
Thank you, Giornata. From Paso Robles. I was fortunate enough that I actually got to visit this winery a few weeks back when I was down there.
And you didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
okay.
we had a really good visit down there and got to taste a lot of wines. Tyler was pulling wine out of the amphora for us. Like it was a special. It was a special trip.
Great.
So I'm gonna pour a little bit of this for us here.
I think that's probably a good idea. Let's get these red glasses out of the way. Thank you, sir.
And I'm just gonna kind of go through it like I did last time, unless you want to do something different.
No, no, that's perfect.
Perfect. So just looking at the color of it here, I'd say it's like pale yellow in color.
Sure. It's not really golden.
With a little bit of a watery rim. That's kind of just indicating youth, and it is indeed young. It's a 2021. Oh, sorry, to finish, this is about in the $30 range, and you can find Giornata at K&L. Right now, the Vermentino is not there, but I've seen it there before. They have
probably sold out for the current vintage, is what it is. Yeah.
Probably. So
12 point. Jesus, I can't see anything. 13.2.
13.0.
13.0. See, alcohol by volume. Okay. 13% alcohol by volume.
Yep. Just kind of taking a look at seeing if there's any kind of tiering going on here.
There's some thickness to it. I can see some. I mean, it's not really. Yeah.
Mine is, relatively slow going down. And once again, that means like maybe there's a little bit of residual sugar, probably not something perceivable. Or maybe it's a little higher alcohol than they're letting on. We were talking about the alcohol levels before.
Yeah, but this is from California, though.
So, but in my class, I learned something fun. So they even fib here in the States. They do. So if it's listed as 14%, it can be within 1.5% as long as it's under 14.
Their minds.
So if they list their wine at 12.5%, it can legit be anywhere from 11 to 13.5%. So once again, this is kind of showing like it might be a little bit higher alcohol than what I'm just something to observe. Really we're gonna feel it on our palate, and that's what's gonna kind of
we'll know when we taste it.
The impression on the palate is what's gonna.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, thank Megan for the non-scratching of the glass sound that was so prevalent the last time Alex was here. She pointed that out, and I went ahead and put some napkins down
Very good.
We keep our yap shut. So hopefully at least I'm not more annoying than I was last time.
I'm sure I'll be just as annoying.
Okay, good, fair enough. You be as annoying as you want to be.
All right, on the nose here. Wow.
Good fruit.
Yeah, very, very aromatic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super, and in some ways kind of reminds me of the Falangina that we had before in that it's got floral character. It's got like the yellow daisy kind of character to it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
It
definitely has either, peachy. Right?
I think stone fruit. Yeah. I think there's a variety of fruit here. I think there's stone fruit. I think there's
definitely a floral. There's more floral on this one than there was in the.
Yes, I agree. I think there's like almost like a melon, like a cantaloupe kind of thing here.
Absolutely.
Very
cantaloupe for sure. Yep.
In fact, that might be the most dominant of all the fruit that I'm getting here.
Yeah. No, this is very good. I like this. And again, not a white wine drinker. Really not.
I'm finding all these white wines that you like.
Well, I mean, I'm tasting them based on the fact that I would probably never buy them and only get a free glass from somebody, in which case I'm a lot more forgiving.
Fair enough. Yeah, and like generally has like just kind of a little bit of a minerality backbone, just like kind of like a whetstone kind of character to it. But the fruit and the floral is like what's driving the wine.
That melon is coming through big now.
For sure. Yeah. And that's kind of fun. Like there aren't a lot of wines that I smell that get that, like are really melon heavy. Some rosés can kind of be like that.
Sometimes. Yeah, they can be. I mean, I feel like you get more of that melon from non-domestic whites. Domestic whites.
Yes, I would agree.
It's a little better now.
Less of a California thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Less of that.
And I'm not getting any oak on the nose.
Me either.
Yep, not getting any of the vanilla stuff. And I don't know for sure, but that makes sense because I'm pretty sure this is all stainless.
Yeah,
if
you,
it gets
you would
anything,
think, right?
if it does get any other kind of vessel, then I think it would be neutral.
Does it say anything on there about how it's aged?
Nope.
Okay, so then,
Cool.
what do you think? Let's taste it.
Yeah, let's taste it.
I'm still tasting that melon.
Definitely
With
get the
some
melon.
acidity, maybe a little alcohol. Yeah, definitely alcohol now on the back. I like it.
I get, and there's a little bit of a tropical influence that's
Yeah.
coming through now on the palate that I wasn't really picking up on the nose.
Yeah, more tropical now. But that melon hit me first, and then the tropical kind of came on me.
You know what? It's kind of like if you took some Malden sea salt and sprinkled it on a cantaloupe. And that is really cool because one of the big markers for like island wine, like Vermentino de Galura, is salinity. Like sometimes it's literally like the spray from the ocean is literally hitting the grapes, and they don't wash the grapes. Nobody washes their grapes when they harvest them. Nobody making good wine does anyway. Exactly. Like I mean, so this wine does have that. I mean, it's not coming next to the ocean, but it has some of that character.
No, but I mean, it's also a Paso wine. It's not coming from Sardinia, number one.
Right.
And number two, like if you had this with prosciutto melon, like that would be to me, and maybe like a burrata.
Sure.
You're in there. I mean, that's what this grape is for, to my palate, anyway.
Yeah, yummy.
Yeah, I like this.
And still not picking up any oak.
No, there's no oak. Not even a hint of cream, no vanilla, anything. It's very, but you're getting those stainless barrels. It's definitely not in there.
I do think that there is there's a texture to it that reminds me of like a Lee's character to it. Just a little bit of that kind of bready kind of character to it. That just like it's almost like if you had the cantaloupe with the salt and then you put it on a little like a baguette.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And that's just a winemaking influence. You know, you leave it. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what it tastes like to me. Like that, this has definitely had some stirring of the leaves. And once again, leaves are literally the dead yeast cells that are just going to impart texture and new flavors and aromas in the wine. So,
is it also responsible for the weight of wine?
Yeah, it could give some of that.
Give a little bit
yeah,
of it, right?
I mean,
body.
Yeah, I mean, as would alcohol,
right.
As would tannin, which normally is red wine. So yeah, but overall, this is delicious.
If you drink a lot of typical white, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, that kind of thing, this will be a nice break. This is going to give you a little bit of something to like that stands alone. It doesn't just hit you with like lime or like a vanilla bomb or whatever, like an oak bomb, and just leave you dead. This is actually interesting. Like this could be, I'm telling you, prosciutto melon will.
I want some right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I mean, we almost just need a prosciutto.
Yep.
And cheese, because the melon is there.
Yep.
That's really good.
One other thing to note on this, like, Paso Robles in general can get really hot.
Yeah.
And, sometimes wines would just get out of hand, and you start, you'll find wines in 16 and a half, 17 and a half, like still wines. This is in balance. This has a good amount of acidity to it. It's just elevated, just kind of in that moderate plus range. And that's keeping it nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that there's some serious care taken to make sure that what's in the glass. And I mean, like literally, this was bottled like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's 2021.
And it's like drink now, baby. Like this is good juice.
So imagine what you're doing with this like a year from now. I mean, you don't want to hold this wine 10 years, but you could hold it a year or two.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely has some aging potential.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can hang out with it for a couple years, but you definitely you're not gonna feel bad about drinking it now.
No, I mean, if I blinded this, I wouldn't have thought this was a 21.
Yeah, it's so expressive. Like it doesn't taste like it's
not closed off.
You hear about bottle shock. Like
no,
doesn't have any of that. That's for sure. Like it's happy.
Yeah.
So
it's really good.
Cool.
Okay.
Right
on. So how many thumbs up are you giving it?
I'm going 2 thumbs up. Plus we had a great time at the winery and they took such good care of us. So this is $30, maybe a little bit past an everyday drinking wine. But if you've got someone that likes white wine that's got a little bit of weight to it, and
this is a good gift.
Yeah.
Like if there's someone whose birthday is in the summer or something like that, or in the late spring, like this is a good wine to bring as a gift to somebody, for a dinner party or whatever. I
for
would
sure.
think.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
This is, I know normally you're like, oh, we open the wines an hour and a half before.
Yeah,
we probably opened this like a half hour ago.
Yeah.
And
this could get more air and be completely different. Not completely different. I don't think it's going to go too far off the track here. Yeah, by the way, we did, for time purposes, have to open that a little early. We opened them all at the same time we decanted the 2 reds, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But you might have a different experience if you let it sit and get a little more air to it. But we do a pretty good job of aerating these wines.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is going to be pretty close to these. And plus, in a restaurant, especially your first course white, you're probably going to drink that right away anyway. So
yeah,
that's probably a good thing. All right. Yeah, me, 92 plus points. And that's a white wine. 92 plus points.
Nice. I like it.
I would drink this. I wouldn't buy it, but I'd drink it.
You should make a shirt saying that.
I wouldn't buy it, but I'd drink it. That's fair enough. I'm going to do that. I am absolutely going to do that.
All right.
All right, so let's move on to one of the reds. How do you want to go? Ascending or, well, it would be descending. So I guess you should do the 16 Turley then.
Perfect.
That's 16.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you have a 2016 Turley Petit Syrah. Okay, this again, Pesenti Vineyards from Paso, Robles. Okay, this one, I can't see. I'm not even going to play these
ABV?
games. Yeah, please.
Probably in the 15 and a half range.
I think it was 15 and a half, yeah. I thought I read, I can't see it either.
15-1.
15-1, okay, so hefty, but not really hefty for a Petit Syrah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you'll find heftier, you'll find higher alcohol. Once again, like, that could be within 1% now that it's, but...
Yeah, maybe a 17.
One thing to point out here, so this has a designation on the label. It says Pesenti Vineyard. If they put that on the label, if there's a vineyard listed on the label, 95% of the fruit has to come from that vineyard.
Oh, okay, 95%.
And generally, like, the more specific you get on a bottle, generally you're looking at like more quality, you're looking at more distinct wines, because they're talking about like, certain soils now. It's not coming from here. It's not that you can't make great wine coming from here.
Yeah, but you get a specific style in a specific terroir 9 times out of 10. Obviously, weird year, it is what it is.
Right.
But more often than not, like when you were saying, in the Italians, when you're buying from a certain region or a sub-producer or whatever, if they're in a certain, chateau, well, not chateau, castello, it would have a specific flavor because that's the same terroir.
Sure. Yep, most stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And Pesenti, really quick, Pesenti Vineyard was planted in the 1920s. The Zinfandel, this is Petit Syrah, but the Zinfandel that was there. So if you find Pesenti Vineyard's Zinfandel from Turley, which is out there, I mean, you're talking about, century-old plus vines, which old vines, like you see that all the time on labels. There's no governing law dictating what that term has to mean, so anybody can put it on any label. But good producers who care about labeling their wines right, if they were to put that on the label, like generally an old vine would be like 25 plus years, ancient vine would be around 50 years, and then the Centurion vine would be around 100.
Okay. Okay.
Like I said, though, there's no laws with that, so you have to be careful when you go to Bevmo and it says old vines infidel. If it's $10, like it might not be old vines.
Yeah, it probably isn't if it's $10, unless they're sourcing them from old vines all over the place in the middle of California.
Right.
They go on a Lodi and taking all these old vines. So yeah, I mean, what's the price point on that?
Okay, so this is our most expensive. This is $65. But the kind of the way that I look at this is like, all right, if you go to pretty much any restaurant now, like if you're buying a bottle of wine, your entry level, at least in the Bay Area, is like $40.
You mean in a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean entry level, $40 for a half decent bottle. So
half.
Yeah, and you're probably looking at more like rosé and white at that price. That's half decent than reds.
Anything red to me is $60.
Right. So like that's the way that I look at it. Like it's like $65. That's a lot. But like when I go out to dinner, like I don't bat an eye at $65 if I'm spending money on wine.
For sure.
So like if I'm gonna cook up a nice dinner at home, spend $65 on a nice bottle of wine. Like that's how I justify it to myself, so I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, but that's going to be $110, $120 on a wine list.
Oh,
I mean, at least,
if
more
not
like 140.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
and that would be generous.
Yeah, and
only a
Turley
double
is a
markup.
big producer. You find them a lot. They got a lot of different products. So I mean,
Yeah,
they get their money for their wine for sure.
And this is estate stuff. Turley bought Pesenti in the early 2000s. So this is kind of in homage to like to Pesenti, that they still have that vineyard under that name. They still are giving credit to where credit's due. And for the record, I think they planted the Petit Syrah in the 1945. So this is still really old vines,
Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you don't want young vines for a reason because they tend to overproduce. Then you have to clip to get good flavor on your juice. With the older vines, they're gnarly. They don't produce as much fruit, so all that flavor from the soil and the nutrients go into each grape, so you get a lot more flavor, a lot more intensity. Am I wrong about that?
You're definitely, the yields part of it is 100%. You know, like it's just the age of it. Like it's just naturally, it's like if you just slow down over the years, right? You don't run as fast
You're
as
telling me.
you did when you were 21 or 18, like right. So that's kind of the way that I kind of think about it. So it definitely plays a role insofar as that. As far as like absorbing from the ground, like what the part of that I know to be true is that the roots are deeper, so it can go deeper to get resources and nutrients that it needs.
Okay.
So, and what that really plays into, especially in California, is that these are like dry farms.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no irrigation, and that's awesome in a world where, you know, we don't have very much water around, you know, like, and in, you know, sustainability and global warming and all that
If you
stuff.
drive into the middle of the state, you're gonna, like, if you're from the Bay Area and you're like west near the water, you don't really get it until you get in your car and you drive to Atascadero or to anywhere like inland and really see how dry, even like now when we've had some rain, it was a little green, but it wasn't like it wasn't like Ireland or anything. Like,
it's starting to, and it's even starting to brown out.
Brown
in the
out,
hills
right?
out
Exactly,
here.
right? Exactly. So,
And it's April, so
exactly.
Yep. Cool.
Right, let me pour you some of this.
Great. This also comes from an AVA in Paso Robles, the Templeton Gap District. That's, I believe, known for having the largest diurnal shift, which means it has the highest temperatures during the day and the lowest temperatures when it cools off. And that really helps because it slows the ripening process naturally, which helps it retain acid.
Yeah.
And that's a really desirable characteristic for a lot of winemakers. You don't have to make wine.
Well, that's why mountain fruit is very desirable because you get the sun, the heat, and then during the day, and then the cool air over the mountains at night, right?
And the altitude it helps that a lot too. So
I can smell it from here. Like,
I mean, I can, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Dark purple in color. It's completely opaque. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, which is common for this grape. This is
yeah. Syrah's always dark.
Yeah, Petit Syrah is
No, I'm sorry, Petit Syrah. Thank you. It's not overly bricky, being that it's 6 years old.
Not at all.
Still,
just a tiny, like
little
medium
browning.
purple on the rim. Some, I'd say, like medium staining. That's indicating some extraction.
Yeah, there is some staining on this one for sure.
Yep.
Good legs too. Good legs.
Yes, definitely like
Very
thick,
separated,
slow-moving
nice.
legs or tears for sure. If you ever see extraction on a wine, that's kind of a hint that, like, okay, this was probably grown in like a warm climate. And
Yeah,
indeed,
the glass definitely has some purplish red going on. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I know normally we keep it under a certain price point, but every once in a while, I want to kind of go outside the box and give you an opportunity, like when you have a special event, or maybe you have a little more means than most, to kind of get an idea. So when you see something like this on the list, you run to it. If it's good, obviously. I think it's going to be good, but you know, it's tough to know.
I hope it's going to be good.
Yeah, I would be very disappointed if
We're
it
going to
isn't.
drink it with dinner tonight, right?
We sure as hell are. Absolutely. If it's bad, we give it to the ladies. By the way, I wanted to take a moment and thank Luna and Natalie for coming out and lending us Alex tonight. They're getting some dinner out of it, so there is something to it. In fact, Luna's getting ice cream and fruit.
She's very excited.
Good, because I don't need that ice cream in my life, and I'm having it because of her. So,
all right, let's get in on this here. You want to take a turn?
Green.
Well, maybe a little bit, yeah.
It's a little green,
but it's definitely aromatic still. It's definitely there's a lot popping out of the glass.
There's a lot of ripe fruit, a little jammy to my nose. There's some alcohol on my nose as well, just a little bit of heat, not a whole lot.
It's
but
not
I'm happy
singeing the hairs in my nose.
No. But I'm feeling a little bit of it, which is good because then I know it's going to be balanced because I'm getting a very, very sweet fruit. It's not like fresh picked. It's more of a like a jam.
Yeah, definitely. I would say like in the overripe fruit, which once again makes sense for the varietal. It makes sense for the extraction that we're seeing. It makes sense for the climate.
Absolutely. Not surprised at all.
You know,
I'd be kind of surprised if it wasn't. I'd be a little worried actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you think. If
when you're buying a Petit Syrah, you want it to smell like this and hopefully taste something along the lines of what we're smelling. Are you catching anything unusual?
Nothing unusual. I mean, I definitely get like a little bit of I definitely am getting some oak character there. Like a little cinnamon clove licoricey
sure.
kind of thing going on. It's like if you took some blackberry jam and just like shaved some star anise on top.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
And then maybe just a sprinkling of cinnamon on there too, something like that. I mean, it's definitely got that like blackberry pie-ish kind of character.
Yeah, with a little baking spice in there for sure. Yeah, I like it.
And blue fruits too.
Yeah, definitely.
Black and blue fruits.
Black and blue fruits.
This isn't
no red fruit.
This
no
isn't
cherry.
your strawberry, raspberry, cherry
none of
thing.
None of that.
So, and once again, like it's matching the color of the wine. You're looking at a dark purple, like bordering like black wine. Like
sure.
This is like so
I would say the Schaefer is almost dark. Is one of the only ones I can think of off the top of my head that's like darker than this out of the bottle.
The Relentless Syrah.
Yeah, really, really. That one always sticks in my mind as a very black, inky color. This is not quite there, but it's coming in.
And something to note, like Syrah and Petit Syrah, they have the same thing in the name, and they have some characteristics that are similar, like with dark purple color and like black and blue fruits. But the grapes actually aren't related, which is kind of interesting. Like in Petit, we think, oh, it's a smaller Syrah, when in fact this is a heavier style of wine than
smaller
Syrah.
grape, thicker skin.
Exactly. It has to do. It's named Petit because the grape is small, and my guess is that they named it Petit Syrah because it looks somewhat similar to the Syrah grape. I don't know that for sure, but that would make sense.
Anyone that wants to look that up and put a comment in the description box, go right ahead. I am too lazy to do it.
And yeah, I'm not getting any big like minerally or like soil kind of things
no
from this.
soil.
The fruit is dominant
For sure.
and that's what you would expect here. So,
and frankly, this is in my wheelhouse. And I know getting older, you're supposed to like go more into that classic French style. That's like more minerality and more mushroom and vegetal. Screw that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I have a warm spot in my heart for wines like this too, because these are kind of some of the first wines that I grew to taste and enjoy working at the steakhouse with you.
For sure. Yeah.
So even though a lot of like the Somm community kind of will sometimes poo-poo like this style. But you know what? They wouldn't poo-poo this producer.
No, for sure. No.
This is if you will, a classic producer of California.
Correct.
And their wines, they make wines from Howell Mountain to Paso, Robles, and maybe even Santa Barbara now. I'm not 100%. I think that they do.
They might. I thought I saw when I was kind of going through stuff that they might have had a Santa Barbara or something. I didn't look at it, but I saw it kind of in passing.
So I mean, like this is.
It's always a good producer.
If you're looking for the right example. So what I'm actually hoping for is on the palate is I'm hoping that the fruit is just a tiny bit less sweet.
I'm hoping so too. Yeah,
just a little
more balanced.
Closer to like right rather than like overripe jammy.
The jam, right. you got your wish.
I think so.
Yep. A little more acidic. The fruit is definitely there, but it's nice and balanced. It's not flabby. It's not like super like syrupy. Some Petit Syrah can be a little syrupy when they get lazy. This is really good.
Yeah, I mean it is. It went into that ripe to just a tiny bit overripe character. It's definitely what I was hoping for, and the acidity is there. I'd say it's in the medium range, but it's enough to still to have that backbone that you need for a wine this rich.
Yeah, there's definitely acidity on my tongue. I'm feeling it tingling right now. And there's definitely some heat in the back of my throat, so there's a little bit of alcohol. I mean, 5.15.1 is very respectable, even on a red. I mean, I'm happy with this wine. Guys, get like a Cajun ribeye, or just a charred, rare New York or ribeye, and just go to town with this wine, and you will be happy.
I'll actually say I think the acid's even a little bit higher than what I just said. Like this is seriously good stuff, and the tannic structure is there, and it's not so granular. Like sometimes you open these Petit Syrahs, and like I don't mind power. Like I honestly I don't mind my gum sticking to my teeth.
They have a lot of sand, is what they have oftentimes, and this wasn't like that.
The tannin's in a really good place right now, where it's plush, but it's still kind of letting you know that it's there. Like it's still gripping, but it's not sticking so hard that you can't.
No, you can totally. No, it's not like that. No, really good.
But this is definitely full body.
This is what they call a power wine, in my opinion.
For sure. What I mean? The impression of alcohol is actually lower than I would like if I just tasted this wine. I would put it more like 14 to the impression on my palate. Okay, yeah. Tastes more like it's like 14 to 14 and a half, which is once again it very well could be. Yeah. Or it could be like 14.1. It could be as low as that if they listed it 15.1. So I
don't think it's sub 14.
No,
it's definitely 14 plus.
It can't be. That's another labeling law. So it's 14.1 or over if it's listed that. Then it could be within 1% as long as it doesn't go below 14.
Okay, good to know.
But yeah, this is delicious. I'm super excited to have it with
I want to have
the ribs.
With the ribs, for sure.
Yeah, and
this is gonna be delicious.
But yeah, truly like powerful wine. Really good balance with between the tannin and enough acid to just refresh your palate enough. It's complex. Like I'm getting all those oak characteristics, all those fruit characteristics, and the finish is there.
Yeah, but it's not like an oak bomb. It's not out of control. Everything kind of works together and gives you a nice experience.
Yeah,
you really,
they took care. They didn't just throw it in 100% new oak for a year and a half or whatever.
Sure.
Like they took care with this.
No, this is a good wine. If you like California, hot climate, good, solid, strong flavors and smells and that kind of thing, this is a wine that will do that for you and give you some complexity to go with it. Me, 93 points on that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean
that's a solid wine in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good. I think I would. Yeah, if I was going to give it points, I would be in the same 94.
Yeah, maybe 94. I could be convinced to 94.
This is also a tooth stainer. These are really highly extracted wines.
Absolutely.
So after George takes a break, I'm going to go wash my mouth out so I don't have purple teeth for the rest of the show.
Well, I am not because I'm an animal.
You're never at a party.
Yeah, if you're at a party, rinse your mouth once in a while when you're having some of these black wines. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to break this up into two parts that we did last time, except this time I know that we're going to take a break rather than like having it thrusted upon us. So don't forget, I'm going to give you some information about this bad boy in part 2. And don't forget, with prices going up, I'm getting more and more phone calls for people to check their prices for insurance, auto, home, life always, but that's not really a price thing.
Yeah, I heard your father-in-law had a good...
Yeah, I got hit, but I mean, I've been getting a lot of people lately that I'm saving couple grand in some cases, 1,000, 500. Look, every penny counts. I mean, we were on the road, $6.50 for gas, and my wife drives a Tahoe. Not fun. So in the description box below, go down there and check it out, and come back and see us soon. Alex, George, Wine by the Bay TV, and we'll see you next time.